copy of this. You can go ahead and start. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much, Jackie. As Jackie said, my name is Keisha Rogers. I am a certification officer with the City of Chicago Department of Procurement Services. So I am actually one of the officers that reviews the applications for certification and determines whether or not it will be approved or denied. So, like Jackie said, any questions for me after the presentation, please feel free to ask as many questions as you can while you have me here. And then we'll definitely give you my contact information so that if someone wants to email me, if you think of a question later, or if you want to give me a call, you can definitely do that. So we can go ahead and get started. So pretty much what we're going to cover during this presentation is benefits of certification, who qualifies, certification requirements, the application process, required information and documents, and after applications are submitted, what happens. So those are the things that we are going to go over today, which hopefully will be able to answer a lot of the questions that you all might have. So pretty much the department overview, let you know a little bit about DPS, is that the Department of Procurement Services is the contracting authority for the procurement of goods and services for the City of Chicago. We work together as a team and with our customers to guarantee an open, fair, and timely process by establishing, communicating, and enforcing superior business practices. So that is who we are as the Department of Procurement Services. One of the things that DPS does is the certification program, which is why all of you are here. So on the screen right now, you will see the different certification programs that we handle in the certification unit. So we handle both the local program, which is the first four that are listed, the minority-owned business enterprise, the women-owned business enterprise, veteran-owned business enterprise, and business enterprise for people with disabilities. Those are our local programs. We also handle the federal programs, which are the disadvantaged business enterprise and the airport concessions disadvantaged business enterprise program. So for the City of Chicago, so you know we handle both the local and the federal programs for certification purposes. So let's get into the benefits of certification. It provides visibility. So once you are certified, your firm is actually listed in a directory, which anybody can access. And it will list that you are certified. It will list the type of certification that you do have. So general public and all prime contractors are able to access this list and see that you are certified and to see if your certification is, active and valid. So there are minority, women, veteran, and disadvantaged business participation goals from City of Chicago projects and sister agencies. So that pretty much means that if there's a contract out there, they will have a participation goal where a certain percentage of those contractors need to be minority, women, veteran, or possibly disadvantaged people with disabilities, and they look for those businesses to be certified. There are also businesses in the private sector that seek out certified firms for products and or services, so they will also look for you to be certified. The City of Chicago also has a target market program, which provides exclusive bidding to certified minority and women-owned business enterprises. So in this case, this allows for the certified business to take 100% of the contract versus the other way you get a percentage of the contract because there are no subcontract goals associated with the contract. So that's definitely a huge benefit for certification. Qualifying group. So do you qualify? If you fall under one of these categories, then it is possible that you could be certified. African Americans, Hispanic, Asian, Asian Indian, women, veterans, people with disabilities, or other individuals who can prove social and economic disadvantages. So if you do not fall under African American, Hispanic, Asian, etc., then but you feel that you are a qualifying group, you would have to complete an affidavit and submit it indicating why you feel like you have been socially and economically disadvantaged. And that's only if you do not fall under those categories that are listed above. The Veteran-Owned Business Enterprise Program, that's the VBE. Veteran means a person who has served in the United States Armed Forces and was discharged or separated under honorable conditions. This is very easy to prove that you are a veteran. You pretty much just have to provide to us your DD-214 or your DD-215 needed as supporting evidence. So either of those are required. That is all that we need to know to prove that you are a veteran. So if you don't have those two documents, then you have to contact the Veterans Administration to get that from them. So what are the requirements for certification? So what's required? You definitely have to be a local business. Remember the first set of certifications that I mentioned, I said those are local programs. So the principal place of business should be in the counties of Cook, DuPage, Kane, Lake, McHenry, or Will. Again, this only applies to our local programs, which were the MBE, WBE, BBE, and the BEPD. Now, for our federal program, you could be, which is the DBE and ACDBE, you can be located anywhere in Illinois. Okay. The owner must be 50, the firm, excuse me, must be 51% owned, controlled, and managed by a minority, a woman, a veteran, or a person with a disability. For DBE, ACDB, owner must be socially or economically disadvantaged individuals. Okay. So the main thing out of this, you have to be a local business and you must own your business by 51% or more. Okay. What's required? We do look at business size standards. So for the local program, your gross receipts cannot exceed $41 million, average over 3 years for non-construction firms. And for construction firms, they are subject to the Small Business Administration size standard, averaged over 7 years. Okay. So remember, these programs are to help small businesses. So once your gross receipts have reached 41 million, or if you're a construction firm and you have reached the SBA size standards, then you are no longer considered a small firm. You have benefited from the program, which is a really, really good thing. Okay. So for DBE, the gross receipts are subject to SBA size standards, average over 3 years, not to exceed 26.29 million. For ACDBE, you cannot exceed 56.4 million, average over 3 years for most firms. Some exceptions do exist. So when you submit your application, we do ask you to provide your tax returns for 3 years for non-construction, as stated, 7 years for construction firms. If you are a startup business and you do not have 3 or 7 years, that is absolutely okay. We totally understand that. You will provide the returns that you do have for your business. So not only are you providing returns for your business, though, you're also providing your personal tax returns. So if you only have 1 year of business returns and 3 years of personal returns, then that's what you will provide to us. We also look at your personal net worth. So there's a standard that we also have to look at, and this applies to construction companies when we talk about personal net worth. So the threshold, like I said, only applies to construction companies. Currently, the PNW is at 2.3 million. So this is looked at annually. If your personal net worth is above 2.3 million or above, then you do not qualify for the program. Okay. For DBE and ACDBE, the threshold applies to all people seeking certification and is currently at 1.3 million. This is adjusted periodically by the U.S. Department of Transportation. The calculation of personal net worth does exclude the value of your primary residence and interest in the firm that you are requesting for certification. So the personal net worth for the local program only applies to people that are looking to be certified in a construction code. And for the federal program, we look at personal net worth for everyone that is looking to be certified under that federal program. The type of businesses that qualify include a sole proprietorship, which is typically owned by only one person, has no legal existence apart from the person, him or herself. So if you are a sole proprietor, you must submit an assumed name certificate if operating in a name other than the name of the owner. So that is what you will provide to us if you are operating as a sole proprietorship. If you are a general partnership, which is 2 or more people going to business together without any formalities, then you will provide to us the partnership agreement. If you are a corporation, which we know you could be an S Corp or you could be a C Corp, and a corporation is treated as an entity that is completely separate from a shareholder. It allows others to invest in the business without being liable for the debts of that business. So you have to be in good standing with the Secretary of State. So we will look to make sure you are in good standing. You can definitely go to the Secretary of State's website, go to the corporation search, put in your name of the business and look to see and make sure that it says active. If it says not in good standing or anything like that during the application process, we will reach out to you and give you that chance to get that corrected and in good standing. You should have your articles of incorporation. You must have a certificate of incorporation. You should have bylaws, You should have copies of all stock certificates, the front and the back. If you have a stock ledger, you should be providing that. And you should have meeting minutes. Again, if you do not have all of this information, that's okay. It's just a matter of explaining to us why you do not have it, and let us know that you do not have it, okay? And then you can work with your certification officer in the event that they feel that you should have something so that you can get it to us in a timely fashion. A limited partnership. The limited partners are more like stakeholders in a corporation. They are not liable for the debts beyond their own ownership. So if you're a limited partnership, you would need to be providing to us an assumed name certificate of limited partnership. If you are LLC, partnerships that have a managing member or partner, you must have an operating agreement or you must have articles of organization. So depending on the type of business that you have, that this just kind of gives you some of the documents that you're providing to us to show, that this business is formed and that it is an LLC. Who are the managing partners? Who are the stakeholders, the shareholders, etc. Suppliers, distributors, and brokers. So we discussed this so that some people will know, depending on the type of business you have, if you are a supplier, distributor, or broker, if you can be certified with the City of Chicago based on your status. So a supplier must be a regular dealer, which is a firm that owns, or operates or maintains a store, warehouse, or other establishment in which material, supplies, articles, or equipment are bought, kept in stock, and regularly sold or leased to the public in the usual course of business. That's our definition for a supplier. If you are a supplier, they actually will provide to you a list of documentation, different documents that you will have to provide to us. If you are a supplier, you will also get a site visit because we want to see your supplier. We want to see your warehouse. We want to see everything to support that you are actual supplier. The supplier can be certified. A distributor or firms operating as a distributor are identified as having a direct relationship with the manufacturer to distribute its goods and products within a specified territory or region. The goods or products are not available or sold to the general public. So you would also have to prove to us that you are a distributor, whether you have a manufacturing agreement or something of that nature to actually prove that you are a distributor or a supplier. Now, brokers are not eligible for certification. Okay, so firms acting as a broker are not eligible for the MBE, WBE, VBE, DEPD programs. Again, that's the local program, but can possibly be eligible for certification as a BBE, which is the federal program. We define brokers as a person or entity that fills orders by purchasing or receiving supplies from a third-party supplier rather than out of your own existing inventory, and provides no substantial service other than acting as a conduit between his or her supplier and his or her customer is considered a broker. Now, these definitions are also in our rules and regulations. So you can always go to the rules and regulations, look up what a broker is, a supplier, a local business. All of this information is in the rules and regulations. Now, the online application process, a very important part. So the application fee is $250. Now, that's only for the local program. No fee for the federal program, which is the DBE and ACDD programs, or if you're only filing for the BEPD, which is for people with disabilities, then there will be no fee. So you will go to, and it's right at the top. This is the direct website to go to start your application. www.chicago.mwd as in dog, B as in boy, E as in Edward.com. Put that into your browser, and it should take you directly to the application. You will have to create a username and a password. Make sure you write that down somewhere so that when you want to go check on the status of your application or provide us additional information, that you have that username and password. So I mentioned that the application fee is $250. Now, once you submit your application, you won't pay that $250 immediately. So after submission, you would check your emails on a regular basis, and you will receive an emailed invoice. We will not review your application until you pay the $250 application fee. So once you hit that submit button on your application, it does come over to us. You will get an invoice, but the review, the assignment of your application to an officer does not happen until you pay the $250 fee. When you receive the invoice, it will give you a list of locations where you can go and directions on how to pay the fee. So you can pay the fee in any of the city's payment centers. You must bring the invoice when paying at the payment center, okay? The invoice will also have a website address so that you can make payments online. Again, I went back the wrong way, sorry about that. So information that is needed when you get ready to go into your, fill out your application. So now you'll need several documents. You don't have to have everything as soon as you go in. You will have 90 days from the time you start your application for you to complete it. I would say definitely complete it before 90 days. Complete it within 88 days if you have to, because it will delete and we cannot retrieve any of that information, okay? So you will be providing your contact information. Make sure it's information where you can be reached, okay? Your cell phone number, your correct email address, because we will be emailing you 99% of the time with requests for information, if we need it, any type of questions we have, etc. Okay? You have to indicate the type of certification you are seeking. So if it's the local program, you're going to put MBE WB. You're going to select that. You can select more than one. So if you're a minority, if you're a woman and you're a veteran and you have a disability, you can select all four for the local program, and it's only one fee of $250. Or if you are a minority and a woman, you can select the MBE and the WBE at the same time, okay? The DBE and ACDBE applications are separate because they're a federal program, so a totally separate program. So if you want to apply for the local and the federal program, you will have to go in and do two applications. My suggestion would be to go ahead and do that local program, pay the fee, get your application started, and then go right behind it and start your DBE and ACDBE application so that hopefully you can go ahead and get the same officers for both applications, okay? Then if you are applying for BEPD, it requires a Schedule G form. So you will have to reach out to the mayor's office for people with disabilities and submit the information to them, the Schedule G form, and then they will contact us to let us know that that has been approved. Again, the veterans certification requires that DD 214 or DD 215, which you will upload to us. You will provide ownership information, employee information, facility information, because we need to make sure you are a local program, financial information. Again, that goes back to your tax returns, licenses for applicant and business. So depending if you are located in the city of Chicago, you should have a city of Chicago business license, unless you have a professional license from the state of Illinois, such as an engineering license or I'm trying to think of another license. I can't think of the top of my head, but if you have a professional license from the state of Illinois or something like that, then you will not need that city of Chicago business license. But other than that, you should, if located in the city of Chicago, you should have a city of Chicago business license. If you're not sure about the type of licenses your business needs, definitely reach out to Business Affairs in the Consumer Protection office. They are actually located on the 8th floor. You can give them a call. They have a small business center that you can speak with someone there to determine which licenses your business needs. You should definitely have this information before you apply for certification so that we're not asking you for it. And then it's taking time, as you know, with COVID and everything, it's taking a little bit more time for everything for you to get those licenses and impose the processing of your application. You will also provide a resume. Their resume should be detailed. It should be chronological. It should show your education. It should show your work experience. It should show your roles and responsibilities in that work experience. Be as detailed as possible. You cannot provide us with too much information. The more information for us, the better. Okay, so you want to make sure you provide that resume for all owners of the company, if it's more than one. You're going to provide evidence of executed contracts and or invoices to show that you are currently working in the areas you are requesting to be certified in. You're going to provide a driver's license and birth certificate or a passport. Proof of equity contribution. That means what was the initial equity contribution that you that you provided in order to start up your business? Was it $100 to open up your business bank account? You will let us know that. Was it $10,000 to purchase a new truck? You're going to let us know that. You're also going to let us know what was the source of that contribution. Was it a personal bank account? Was it a savings account? Was it you borrowed money from your 401k, etc.? Did you receive a loan from somebody? You're going to let us know that, and you're going to provide proof of that. Now, if you don't have that, it's been 10 years since you started your business, you should provide a signed and notarized letter indicating what your initial equity contribution was, the source of it, and if you want to put in there why you no longer have the information, then that's fine as well. You're going to provide your business bank account signature card. So that pretty much is when you opened up your business bank account, you had to sign something so that they know who the authorized signer is for that account. You're going to provide us a copy of that. You're going to provide an organizational chart, equipment list, and loan information. Again, if you do not have all of this information, that is okay. You will let us know that you do not have it and the reasons why you do not have it. Financial documents. I touched upon this briefly earlier. 3 years of federal business tax returns for the local program, 7 years for construction firms. So if you're doing the local programs, the MBE, WBE, VBE, and VEPD, and you're not looking to be certified in construction with the construction code, then you're going to provide 3 years of federal business tax returns and 3 years of your federal individual tax returns. Okay, they should be signed. We know that now most of the time we do not physically sign. You have that electric signature form. Just go ahead and sign that return and upload so that it's not returned back to you. You should be providing W-2s and 1099s if applicable, and that personal net worth statement as I discussed earlier for construction firms and for all new BBE and ACDBE firms, okay, or certifications that if you're requesting for the federal program. So after applications are submitted, the process can take approximately 90 to 120 days or longer from the day we receive all documents. So remember, once you hit submit, the clock does not start ticking because you still have to pay. It still has to be assigned to an officer. Allow that officer, at least a couple of weeks to take a look at it, maybe send you an introduction email so that you know how to contact them directly and give them time to look over your application, send you a request for information. So I would definitely make sure that you are checking your emails through this process because we will send you requests through email, as I mentioned before. Your application is checked to make sure we have all documentation. Your application, the documents are thoroughly audited. So we look at absolutely everything, and that's why sometimes we get requests for information. You might be shocked at some of the stuff that we actually have looked at and are requesting or asking you a question because we thoroughly audit these applications. You may receive a site visit. So if you are in construction, a supplier or a distributor, you will receive a site visit. So once the officer feels like they have everything they need at that point, they will send a request to the field analyst. The field analyst will reach out to you to schedule the site visit. Because of COVID, they are definitely doing virtual site visits. So that should not be an issue. So you want to make sure once that field analyst reaches out to you, that you are able to go ahead and schedule that with them, because if you delay that, then it will delay the process of us proceeding with reviewing the application. Okay. So maintaining certification. All vendors have to submit an annual no change affidavit. So once you are certified and you have completed your application, you have been approved, every year you have to submit an annual no change affidavit. Okay. You also have to notify the certification division regarding any material changes, such as any organizational changes, if there's been a change in ownership, business name changes, address changes. You have to let us know that within 10 business days of the change. So you can actually log into your account and go in there and complete a form that says material change, if it's not time for your no change affidavit. If it's time for your no change affidavit, then go ahead and provide us with those changes via the no change affidavit, which is actually the purpose of the affidavit, to say, hey, there are no changes, or yes, here are the changes that have happened to my company within this last year. Maintaining your certification. So one of the things when you first certify or you request certification, you will request to be certified in certain Nexus codes, NAICS codes, okay? So you do not have to do 10, 12, 15 codes. Go ahead, you can get certified as you start to get more experience. in other areas, then you can do an expansion of services. You submit the request in writing, go online. Everything's online. It says in writing, but you're actually going to go online. You're going to actually submit an expansion application. You're going to include the Nexus codes that you're requesting to be added to your certification. Now, remember, for an expansion, you're already certified. Okay, so you should be working in this area that you are requesting for an expansion. You should have the knowledge, experience, and expertise in the area that you're requesting for an expansion. You should be including proof that you're working in that area, any required licenses, contracts, insurance. Update your resume and send it over to us. So that's, again, an expansion. That's once you are already certified. Now, hey, maybe you were certified as a carpenter, but now you say, hey, I'm doing some painting, so I want to add and expand painting and add that to my certification. So that is what you would do in expansion of services certification application. So one of the most important things, 10 reasons why applications are denied. Okay, so you have to, if there is questionable, if we feel there's any questions or unsubstantiated ownership or control. If there's an unclear description of the critical functions and who is responsible. If the company cannot explain where you got your startup funds, that's the initial equity contribution, or expansion capital and how it was initiated, that could be an issue. Outside secondary employment takes the majority of the enterprise's time each day. So we're not saying you can't have a second job, but you have to explain how, if you have a 9 to 5, and then you're working your the firm that you're applying for certification from 9 to 5. We need an explanation as to how you're able to maintain and operate and do the critical day-to-day operations of the business if you are working full-time. So it's just a matter of explaining to us how you're able to do that. If the company is not located in one of the 6 county regions, remember we discussed that earlier. So if that company is not located in the 6 county region, and you know you're not located in the 6 county region, I wouldn't even apply for certification because you do not qualify, because you're not in one of those 6 counties. The point of contact did not respond to requests for information in a timely manner. I mentioned that before. Continue to watch your emails for information from us. When you get a request for information, you will see that there is a time that you should respond to us within 15 days, 10 days, 5 days. So make sure you're responding with that within that time. If you need more time, just reach out to your certification officer and let them know that. But just make sure you keep some type of communication with your cert officer. If there's any inconsistencies with the application firm name among various documents, if there's any problems with contracts, if they're missing information, incomplete, not signed, etc., those could be reasons why you're denied. Required documents are not attached and no explanation given as to why the documents are not available. And if you have not provided the 6 or 7 years of tax returns were not submitted and signed as required. So those are definitely reasons why you can be denied. So definitely try to avoid those. And if you have any questions, you need a couple of more days, anything, your certification officer, you will have their direct contact information, their email, their phone number, you'll have our general number. So just reach out and make sure you keep the lines of communication open with your certification officer. So I understand it's a lot of information. It can be time consuming to do the application, but just take your time. Like I said, you have 90 days to, no, we're not going to say 90, we're going to say 88, okay? Because you don't want that application to delete on you. And once, like I said, it deletes, then there is no more, we can't retrieve that information. So just take your time. If you have any questions during the process, just reach out to us. Keep the lines of communication open with your certification officer once you're assigned one. And it should be pretty much good to go. So now if anyone has any questions for me, Jackie will let me know.
Actually, Keisha, you have done a marvelous job as you always do. And so they don't have them queued up right now.
What?
So I will tell you that if you do have a question for Keisha, I ask that you put it in the Q&A panel that is at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You should see a Q &A. Go ahead and click on that, type in your question and press the enter key. And if you would use the Q&A panel only for your questions, I greatly appreciate it. So go ahead and type in your questions in the Q&A panel and we will put those off to Keisha. I also do want to, while you're Keisha, give them a minute while they're typing in their questions. Please don't use the chat. Use the Q&A panel for your questions. The Q&A, because I'm going to put some things in the chat to give you so that you have. So use the Q&A panel so that I can see your questions and answer them. Just to give you a little information as well, we will be having a construction summit on March 24th. You're getting a preview of it as far as the announcement will go out this afternoon. So you can register for the workshops. We have 5 of our user groups that will be a part of that summit. So I ask that if you'd like to attend, feel free to do so and actually register online when you get the email. If you're not a part of our DPS alerts, I implore you to do so. Go ahead and sign up this afternoon so that you're able to receive your copy of the construction summit notice. If you have any questions after the organization chart, what were the other requirements? Keisha, can you go back to that part so that person can see that?
Can you repeat that for me, Jackie? I'm sorry.
The person was asking after the organizational chart, what were the other requirements needed? I take it.
Here we are. So after organizational chart, it was just 2 more things: equipment list and loan information. So I'm not sure if that's exactly what they were looking for.
So just stay on that screen for just a moment, and that person can write down. This workshop will be, the PowerPoint will be available after this workshop. We are going to place it up on the website. I just ask that you give me a little time. We're a little short-handed, and I want to make sure that we get everything up for you. There are some workshops up that have some of the same information, so feel free to go online and look for the DPS workshops, and you will find this copy of a similar PowerPoint to this one. The second question is, does it help, I guess, to get a DBE if you already have a City of Chicago W BE and a through WBENC or BEPD?
Okay, so I'm assuming the question is asking, so it sounds like they have a WBE through the Women's Business Development Council. That's what I'm taking out of that. So,
yes.
Right. So that certification is totally different from the City of Chicago WBE certification. So if you have the certification WBE with Women Business Development Council or the MBE through the Minority Development Council, you can still get certified with us as a W or M through our local program. And then you can still do the DBE if you want, you can do that separate, even if you don't want our local program certifications. And you just have to determine if you feel that it would be beneficial for you to get the federal certification. If it's something that you think you would be bidding on, like any type of project with them. But one thing I always tell people is better to be certified and have it than something come up and then you don't have it and you're trying to rush to get it. And there is no expedited process for certification. So if it's something you think you will be interested in, definitely go ahead and do it. If you're not WBE certified with us, now when you go online, you will see that there is an application process that says expedited if you are certified already with the Women Business Development Council, but in actuality, it's really not expedited. You're just providing the information that you sent to WBE, the Women's Business Development Council, to us, but your certification officer will still ask you, do their due diligence and ask you questions to make a good decision to make sure that you are certifiable with us. Hopefully that answers that question.
The next question that we have here is, how about 3 and 7 year tax returns? Which, I'm not sure if I got what the question is.
Okay, so for the tax returns, if
It
you
just
are,
says, how about the 3 and 7 year tax returns? And then the person, if they can clarify the question underneath it, uh, who is each required or how is each required? Maybe that's what they're trying to put. I don't know.
so for the local program, 3 years of federal tax returns for your business and for yourself if you are non-construction. So if you're an accountant, if you're an engineer, you're not considered requesting certification in construction, you need 3 years. If you are a construction firm, which is painting, residential remodeling, a construction management and institution, building construction, things of that nature, you will need 7 years of federal tax returns for your business and for your personal. If you don't have 7 years for your business, or you don't have 3 years because you're a startup, or maybe you just started in 2019, so you wouldn't have that, that's okay. We understand that because we will know the date that you started business. So we know you won't have all of that. Now, for your personal tax returns, if you don't have 7 years, then you will provide a statement indicating why you do not have those 7 years and provide the information that you have, for the years that you do have. So it depends on construction or non-construction. And using construction nexus codes, I mentioned those, NAIC codes, because you do have to let us know what nexus code you want to be certified in. Use the construction code, start with a 236, 237, 238. And you'll usually know, that's how we know that it's construction. But again, it's usually, like I said, painting or building construction, residential remodeling, carpentry, stuff like that. So hopefully that answers their questions in regards to the 3 and 7 years for the tax returns. Now that's for the local program. For the federal program, you need the 5 years of tax returns.
All righty. And let's see here. In filing in filling out, I'm sorry, the app, some of the required documents don't apply to my LLC, such as bylaws, meeting, minute meetings, the meeting minutes, compensation schedule. How should I handle that?
So if anything is not applicable to your business, and we totally understand that, because you have to understand that everything that's on the application is geared towards all types of businesses. So if you already have an operating agreement, which you should for an LLC, you'll upload that. We understand LLCs don't have bylaws. So in those sections that are not applicable to you, I would upload a statement indicating not applicable. So let's just say you look through the application and there's 10 things that are not applicable. You don't have bylaws, you don't have meeting minutes, you don't have a compensation schedule, you don't have any loans. I will make one statement and say, do not have this information is not applicable to my business. Say what information is not applicable and upload that statement in each section that is requested. That is one way to do it. But just make sure you upload something indicating why you don't have it and why it's not applicable. A lot of stuff, like I said, we already will know why it's not applicable. Like you said, if you are LLC, LLCs do not have bylaws. We know that. So if it's not applicable, just go ahead and indicate and upload something stating that it's not applicable to your business or the reason why you don't have it.
All righty. And I think that is it, Keisha. I'm giving him one last chance. Cue up your message for Keisha if you have one.
And I can give everyone, I'm sorry, Jackie, I can give everyone my email address.
Please do. Go ahead and Keisha and put it in the chat.
Okay.
And put it in the chat to everyone. And they will get that from there. I do want to thank Keisha for giving us that great information regarding how to become certified. We hope. Keisha, go ahead and stay there and go all the way to the end, to the Q&A, to the end. I can put your, hopefully I spell it everything right.
KEISHA. I'm sorry. Keisha.
Yeah, I got it. For those of you that would like to attend, like I said, the construction summit that will be out this afternoon, we do thank you for coming to the workshop today. I encourage you to sign up for the DPS alerts because we're going to be having a lot of information that we're going to put out through the DPS alerts coming up soon about different solicitations, workshops, outreach events, different things like that. So, so that you're in tune to what we're doing, feel free to sign up for that. Thank you for your presentation, Keisha. Thank you, the participants, for showing up today and taking this wonderful workshop. And we hope that you attend more with us. And feel free to go look on if you haven't gotten a DPS alert, then go look online under what we do in the events, outreach events, and you'll see our workshops, and you can sign up there on the Google Calendar. So concluding for today's session, I say to you, stay well, stay safe, wash your hands, social distance, get vaccinated, first, second, third, and I hear it is even a fourth after the booster. So whatever it is that you need so that we can be safe in the same room, so that we can network with you, we want to do that. So feel free to reach out to us if you have questions. If not, I say have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks so much. And Keisha, did you want to say something?
Oh, no, I'm fine. Thank you everyone for attending. Jackie did put my email address in there. Jackie is Keisha.Rogers, Rogers.
What did I put? What did I put?
Keisha.Rogers. You got the S.
I'm sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
I'll
So
redo it.
Yep,
I'll redo it. I'll redo it.
Okay, sounds good. But other than that, thank you all for attending.
Thank you.